Halt. Place both hands over the center of your chest and correct your posture right now. You're not here by accident. The heavy, unexplained exhaustion you feel in your bones every single morning is not a medical mystery. It is a direct frequency suppression meant to keep you asleep. You believe that your chronic exhaustion and the feeling of never truly belonging are signs that you are failing at human life. But in reality, your physical vessel is experiencing a severe frequency mismatch because you are an activated starseed trying to operate within a suppressed earthly grid. You must calibrate your bio-radiant broadcast layer now before the spiritual adversaries completely obscure your unique cosmic signal and drain your remaining light. That silent restlessness whispering that you are meant for something entirely different is finally about to be answered. Your deep, silent inquietude is a direct result of a cosmic mismatch. You are being actively targeted by the spiritual adversaries. They operate through specific, orchestrated manifestations, the cycle of distraction that keeps you scrolling endlessly to numb your intuition, the isolation of perception that makes you feel like the crazy one in your own home, and the voice of doubt that convinces you your highest visions are merely imagination. I'm going to reveal exactly why your physical vessel feels like a cage, how to decode the silent signals your consciousness has been sending you for years, and the precise mechanism to override the frequency suppression that is draining your energy right now. You will understand how to anchor your true identity and stop absorbing the heavy density of the third dimension. Have you ever felt that the deep displacement you carry isn't a flaw, but a suppressed signal? What if the feeling of never truly belonging isn't tied to an emotional gap, but to a dormant starseed activation that the spiritual adversaries are trying to block? Perhaps you have already noticed that there is something keeping you from fully unlocking your path, as if an invisible ceiling kept you in the same cycles of heavy exhaustion. But what if what you call this silent restlessness is merely the reflection of a blocked cosmic frequency that you haven't fully recognized yet? Now think with me. What if this profound disconnect wasn't actually distancing you from your purpose? What if these sudden awakenings at 3 a.m. have been trying to manifest for years, but certain cosmic codes haven't been understood yet? What if every closed door and every misunderstood vision was a sign pointing to the exact answer you didn't even know you were searching for? It was in seeking answers to this that I recommend to you this digital book called The 11 Arcturian Secrets Behind the Frequency of Success. This book is not just a reading. It is a material created for those who wish to understand the invisible mechanisms that influence results, prosperity, personal fulfillment, and growth. Throughout its pages, you will discover the Arcturian principles capable of transforming how you interpret your earthly journey. You will understand why some repeat cycles of exhaustion, while others break through the energetic barriers of this dimension. Many people already feel they need to change something in the way they think, act, and direct their choices, but they still haven't made the decision to access this knowledge. Download it right now. It's available in the first pinned comment. But be warned, few copies remain available. Do not wait another year searching for validation in the same broken systems. Click now, download your copy, and discover why the frequency of your true origin might be much closer to you than you imagine. And about exactly this, about the sudden silence at the dinner table, about the heaviness in the chest at 3 a.m., about the nausea under fluorescent lights. There is a 3-minute key that fits exactly within the next time you feel completely misunderstood by your own family, and that I will show you later on, because what they call a crisis, the Council calls a coordinate. Tuck it away in the depth of your awareness. And beyond our digital guide, soul, you have here another way to strengthen this message that arrived for you today, and to make it reach more and more souls like you. We don't receive a single cent for each word I deliver to you every day on this channel. As a way for you to give back something of what you receive here, we also keep a voluntary donation link open right below the digital book in the first pinned comment. Any amount that fits in your hand today, any sum your heart points to. This is what keeps our channel standing. This is what makes the next message reach another soul who needs it, exactly the way you needed it today. I'll see you there, soul. And if you need to leave before the end of this video, this key is already waiting for you in the first pinned comment right below here. But I ask you to stay, because without the context that comes next, the key does not operate with the same force over your energetic field. But the name of what is happening to you hasn't been pronounced yet. There are 5 absolute signs that your system is actively rejecting the third-dimensional density. The spiritual adversaries have spent years trying to convince you that these are simply symptoms of clinical burnout, emotional fatigue, or personal failure. They want you to believe that you are broken. But the Council classifies them as direct biological coordinates. I need you to listen very closely and observe exactly how your physical vessel has been responding to these subtle activations, because the name of what is happening to you is hidden right inside them. The first sign is the 3 a.m. temporal awakening. You know this pattern intimately. You consistently wake up between 3:00 and 4:00 a.m., feeling completely alert, as if someone just whispered your name in the dark. Your heart might be racing slightly, your eyes wide open, but there is no earthly threat in the room. You try to force yourself back to sleep, fighting the sudden surge of energy. This is not insomnia, and it is not stress. Your pineal gland is receiving a high-density data transfer from the Council, while the collective human grid is quiet. It is a direct download bypassing the logical filters of your daytime mind, attempting to deliver the codes your soul requested before incarnating. The second sign is the synthetic environment rejection. You walk into a crowded supermarket, a large corporate building, or simply stand under harsh fluorescent lights, and within minutes you suddenly feel nauseous, dizzy, or entirely drained of life force. It is as if an invisible weight has been placed on your shoulders, pressing down on your chest. You are not physically ill, nor are you experiencing a simple panic attack. Your energetic field is actively rejecting artificial frequencies that were designed to suppress your natural vibration and keep you operating in a low-frequency survival mode. Your highly sensitive aura is detecting the dissonance of the earthly matrix. The third sign is the dinner table disconnect. You are sitting with your closest family members during a regular meal. People are talking about mundane things, the news, the daily routine, and suddenly, a profound silence hits you. You look around at the faces of the people you have known your entire life, the people who raised you, and you realize you are speaking completely different energetic languages. A deep, heavy realization settles in your chest that you are walking a path they cannot see, and they cannot hear the frequency you operate on. This is because your timeline has shifted, and your soul is recognizing the illusion of earthly attachments, preparing you for a broader cosmic family. And about that sudden silence at the dinner table that you recognized just now. It's not a coincidence. If you want to go deeper into this right now, the link to the 11 Arcturian secrets is in the first pinned comment, but do not blink now. The fourth sign is the phantom nostalgia. You step outside, look up at the night sky, and out of nowhere, you feel a sudden, crushing homesickness for a place you have never physically visited. A deep grief washes over you. A longing for a home, a family, or a harmonic frequency that simply does not exist on this planet. It brings unexplainable tears to your eyes that you cannot logically justify to anyone around you. This is your cellular memory, recalling your true origin. It is your spirit, pulling you back toward the cosmic alignment you originally came from, reminding you that Earth is just a temporary assignment, not your final destination. The fifth sign is the career burnout paradox. You spend years sacrificing your energy to achieve a specific material goal, a promotion, a business milestone, or societal validation. But the exact moment you get it, instead of feeling fulfilled, you feel completely empty, hollow, and utterly drained. The spiritual adversaries want you to feel ungrateful or depressed, whispering that nothing will ever satisfy you. But the truth is that your consciousness is violently rejecting these three-dimensional success metrics. Your true mission on this planet is energetic, not material, and your activated soul refuses to be confined to a corporate matrix that serves only to extract your light. If you recognized at least 3 of these 5 signs, understand this immediately. It is not a coincidence that you are hearing this voice right now. The Council, the universe, and your own consciousness have already brought you here for a very specific reason. The deep displacement you carry is not a permanent curse. It is preparing to be transmuted into the exact frequency of your mission. You are being positioned to break out of the suppression grid. Type 555. In the Council system, 555 is timeline transition. Your comment is not a platform interaction, it is a location marker in the energetic field. By typing this, you are signaling to the cosmic grid that you are ready to stop absorbing the heavy density of this dimension and step fully into the timeline of your true activation. Before I show you the key that will unlock the truth about your blocked cosmic frequency, there is an ancient classification in the archives that defines exactly the state of a displaced starseed. You have just identified the true nature of a blocked cosmic frequency. The exact state of profound displacement you are navigating right now has been seen, and it has been recognized. Because between feeling the initial call of your soul and truly understanding the cosmic answer, there is a silent gap. A gap that the spiritual adversaries know far better than you do. It is not because the universal wisdom was denied to you. It is because the next time you feel completely misunderstood by your own family has finally arrived, and the specific alignment required to unlock your starseed frequency is still missing from your daily practice. And I tell you this because I have seen it happen. I have seen that sudden silence at the dinner table make a brilliant starseed feel completely isolated and broken. I saw the heaviness in the chest at 3 a.m. turn into an anchor of absolute, unshakable clarity. I saw the nausea under fluorescent lights become a profound shield of energetic protection. I saw the deep displacement transform into an unquestionable cosmic authority. This crushing exhaustion is not yours. It is a direct result of a blocked cosmic frequency being actively suppressed by those who fear your light. They are the voice of doubt that whispers you are crazy, the cycle of distraction that scatters your focus, and the isolation of perception that makes you feel utterly alone. And you already know this. You just hadn't given it a name yet. Perhaps you have already felt that you can see the highest potential in everyone around you, but your own path seems persistently veiled. Or maybe you have noticed how your energy drains so fast around certain people, leaving you hollow and exhausted in the exact moments you need to focus on your mission. What if that intuition, screaming a truth that your logical mind tries to suppress, is actually your cellular memory trying to guide you out of the matrix? Have you ever wondered why you carry such an immense weight for a world that refuses to understand you? Whenever this realization hits you, press your thumb against your index finger and hold it firmly for 3 seconds. This is a physical anchor to remind your nervous system that you are in control of the signal and that you are not absorbing the density around you. It was exactly searching for this profound answer that I arrived at this digital book called The 11 Arcturian Secrets Behind the Frequency of Success. This is not just a simple reading to pass the time. It is a direct frequency calibration tool for your energetic field. Touch the link right now in the first pinned comment and secure your copy. And do not leave without typing the word "activated" in the comments, because the spiritual adversaries have absolutely no power to stop what the Council, the universe, and your own consciousness have already started in you today. Because whoever recognizes their own signal before the noise finds abundance where the world only promises scarcity. The digital book that is waiting for you in the first pinned comment was built entirely upon this exact architecture. It maps the precise steps to dismantle the spiritual blocks, override the energetic suppression, and restore your true cosmic alignment in this lifetime. And perhaps you are hesitating right now. This hesitation has a specific name. It is the spiritual adversaries, acting as the voice of reason inside your mind, telling you that your blocked cosmic frequency is just a biological flaw and that you should just wait for a better moment. But think with me. The value of this profound knowledge is less than a Friday night pizza. Less than a Friday night pizza that you spend trying to numb the feeling of not belonging and hoping the exhaustion will magically disappear. Not because this wisdom is worth less, but because you simply cannot afford to spend another 12 months fighting invisible battles that drain your soul. And it comes with a strict 7-day guarantee. If within 7 days you open it, read the material, and feel that this frequency does not serve your specific path, simply send a single email and receive your resources back entirely. Without questions, without a complicated process, without any judgment. The only true risk you take is staying exactly where you are, especially when what is at stake is the next time you feel completely misunderstood by your own family. The risk is completely ours. The choice and the key are entirely yours. I am not the only one saying this. An empath just like you, carrying decades of heavy earthly pain, opened this digital book yesterday at 3:00 a.m. while the rest of the house was sleeping in silence. She had been dealing with a blocked cosmic frequency her whole life, staring at the ceiling in the dark, feeling the unexplainable heaviness in her chest. She applied the exact Arcturian sequence found inside, and today, that profound silence at the dinner table is no longer a source of grief but a powerful shield of absolute clarity. Another soul, exhausted from the corporate matrix and the endless cycles of burnout, accessed this exact material on a Tuesday afternoon, sitting in her car, completely drained by the synthetic environment rejection. She truly thought her highly sensitive energy was simply incompatible with earthly success. She recognized the cosmic codes, calibrated her bio-radiant broadcast layer, and the very doors that were locked for decades simply opened before her eyes. And this transformation is happening right now, across the grid, while you watch this video. But if you do not step into this alignment, the heavy cycle simply repeats itself, and your family does not notice, and your children do not notice. And the invisible ceiling that returns continues arriving, quietly draining the brilliant light you were meant to share with this dimension. And before the next word that is still coming, soul, if this message is expanding your perception, I reinforce my request for a voluntary donation. As I told you earlier, the option is right there in the first pinned comment next to the digital book. Each gesture like this sustains our channel and allows this exact frequency to reach more souls. I will wait for you there, again, soul. But pay close attention to what I am about to reveal, because the system you trust to heal you is the exact same system that is keeping you asleep. There is a highly guarded classification in the ancestral archives that defines your current state of displacement, and I need you to hear it now. You have spent years trying to fix this exhaustion using human tools. You have worked relentlessly on the level of psychological mindset, reading earthly theories and attempting to positive think your way out of the profound displacement you feel every single day. You have tried to force your mind to accept a reality that your soul actively rejects. But the blockage you are facing is not psychological. And you cannot mindset your way out of a cosmic frequency mismatch. The spiritual adversaries want you trapped in the psychological loop, believing you have a mental barrier or an emotional deficit. You have worked on the level of psychological mindset, but the blockage is actually on the level of your bio-radiant broadcast layer. This is not a metaphor. The bio-radiant broadcast layer is a literal, tangible energetic architecture woven directly into your physical vessel. It is the bridge between your multidimensional consciousness and your dense earthly body. Your physical heart and your vagus nerve act together as a unified, highly advanced antenna designed specifically to receive, decode, and transmit high-density cosmic frequencies directly from the Council. When you try to force human manifestation techniques or push through earthly goals without first turning on this specific layer, your biological system misfires violently. The result is exactly what you are feeling right now: the sudden, crushing physical anxiety, the unexplained nausea under fluorescent lights, and a deep, relentless energetic drain that no amount of sleep can fix. Your vessel is trying to run high-voltage cosmic current through a closed circuit. This layer has been quietly developing inside you since the moment you incarnated, operating completely under the radar of the earthly matrix. The spiritual adversaries cannot detect it when it is dormant, which is why they rely heavily on the cycle of distraction and the isolation of perception to keep it permanently switched off. They flood your environment with low-frequency noise because they are terrified of what happens when a starseed like you finally turns the dial. This is a rare, highly specialized piece of cosmic technology, carried only by a specific lineage of souls who volunteered to anchor light into this heavy dimension. To activate this dormant antenna and stop the continuous drain on your physical vessel, you must make 3 specific micro-commitments to your own energetic field right now. First, you must commit to observing your emotional triggers without absorbing them, recognizing that not every heavy emotion you feel at the dinner table actually belongs to you. You are a receiver, not a sponge. Second, you must trust your sudden energetic downloads, especially those that arrive during the 3 a.m. temporal awakenings, without immediately letting the voice of doubt rationalize them away into mere stress or coincidence. Third, you must completely honor your need for deep, sudden rest, understanding that your body is not failing at human life, but rather integrating massive amounts of light that require immense cellular energy. When you make these commitments, you seal your frequency against the matrix. The spiritual adversaries are absolutely powerless against an activated bioradiant broadcast layer. They can mimic fear, they can orchestrate the illusion of scarcity in your immediate environment, and they can project the feeling of utter isolation into your mind, but they cannot replicate this specific cosmic frequency. They lack the organic soul resonance required to access the Council's grid. They are operating on a closed parasitic loop, feeding on earthly anxiety, while you are directly connected to an infinite self-sustaining source of universal intelligence. Once you turn this specific layer on, you drop completely off their radar. They simply cannot perceive a frequency they do not possess. Imagine a highly advanced radio receiver built with off-world technology dropped into a dense underground cavern filled with heavy static. For years, the receiver assumes it is fundamentally broken because it only picks up the chaotic noise of the cavern. It vibrates with the heavy dissonance of its surroundings, believing that the static is the only truth. But the receiver is not broken, it is simply tuned to the wrong bandwidth. The moment it clicks into its true frequency, the static does not just fade, it is completely overridden by a crystal-clear transmission from the stars. This is exactly what your physical vessel is going through. The earthly density is the static, the exhaustion is the resistance, and the bioradiant broadcast layer is the dial waiting for your hand. I am going to tell you about a soul. I will call her M. It is not her real name, it is the name we give to the ones who have crossed over and broken the matrix. M arrived exactly where you are right now. She was completely drained, looking at her daily life and feeling like a total stranger in her own home. She had the job, the family, the earthly structure that society demands, yet her chest carried the immense, crushing weight of 1,000 unanswered questions. She felt the exact same deep displacement that you carry in your bones. The awakening didn't come to her with a gentle, poetic whisper. It came as a violent, unignorable disruption. M started waking up every single night exactly at 3 a.m., her heart racing with an invisible urgency. The earthly things and the people that used to bring her joy suddenly felt entirely hollow, leaving her sitting at the dinner table, engulfed in a profound, heavy silence. And then came the first wave of targeted resistance. The voice of doubt whispered loudly in her mind that she was simply losing her grip on reality, that she should just numb the feeling, lower her expectations and fit back into the mold. But M chose the silent crossing. She made the radical decision to stop asking for validation from people who couldn't even hear the frequency she was tuning into. She endured the brutal isolation of perception, standing firm while the spiritual adversaries tried to convince her she was entirely alone and fundamentally flawed. She sat in the dark, without distractions, without the endless scrolling, and allowed the heavy, unexplainable grief of her earthly conditioning to burn away entirely. She stopped fighting the exhaustion and started listening to the transmission hidden beneath it. And then, the absolute recognition happened. It wasn't a booming voice from the sky, but a sudden piercing clarity anchoring directly in her vagus nerve. The bioradiant broadcast layer fully activated. The nausea under the artificial lights vanished entirely. The phantom nostalgia transformed into a grounded sense of unwavering purpose. M finally understood that her deep sensitivity, the very thing the world called a biological weakness, was actually a highly advanced piece of cosmic technology. She realized she was never broken. She was operating a multi-dimensional system on a primitive grid. With this profound activation, all the earthly anger dissolved. She didn't look back at the people who misunderstood her with resentment or spiritual superiority. She looked at her family, her colleagues, and the heavy matrix around her with the profound, quiet compassion of someone who finally understands the rules of the game. M knew that they were just playing their unconscious roles in the strictly guarded incubation chamber of her own awakening. The spiritual adversaries lost all leverage because the empath had finally stopped being a sponge for earthly pain and had become an unshakable anchor of light. But M didn't take this hard-earned wisdom into the silence. She didn't leave the next generation of starseeds to figure it out alone in the dark. She left it recorded with absolute surgical precision. She mapped the exact steps of the transition, detailing how to turn the dial, override the earthly static, and maintain the frequency in the face of the matrix. And it is exactly this practical applied wisdom, this literal map out of the frequency suppression, that is inside the digital book you will find in the first pinned comment. But the deepest truth is still ahead. M's transition did not happen in the clouds. It happened in the heavy, dense reality of her daily life, exactly where you are standing right now. When you finally understand that your physical vessel is a highly advanced piece of cosmic technology, the exhaustion stops being a mystery and becomes a precise diagnostic tool. You stop looking at your life as a series of failures and start seeing the exact points where your frequency is being suppressed. The sudden silence at the dinner table is no longer an emotional void. It is the physical sensation of your aura retracting from a lower density. The heaviness in the chest at 3 a.m. is not anxiety. It is the literal weight of unexpressed light pressing against your dormant grid. To navigate this successfully, the Council has identified 3 specific archetypes of Starseed awakening. You must recognize which one you are embodying right now. The first is the somatic receiver. This is the soul who processes cosmic data entirely through their physical vessel and emotional field. If you are this archetype, your defining sign is the immediate, visceral reaction you have to the energy of others. You do not just notice their pain, you literally absorb it into your own nervous system. Your role in the awakening is to act as a human tuning fork, detecting the invisible dissonance in the earthly matrix and transmuting it into light. But you cannot do this if your antenna is buried under the noise. The second is the paradigm architect. This is the starseed who came to completely dismantle broken human systems. You recognize this in yourself when you feel an absolute burning intolerance for authority built on illusion and a deep inability to participate in the synthetic environment of corporate success. Your role is not to adapt to the matrix, but to expose its structural flaws. You are the one who suddenly realizes that the career you spent years building is an empty shell, and your soul simply refuses to pretend otherwise. The third is the frequency keeper. This is the deeply silent observer who holds the energetic balance of entire rooms simply by breathing. Your recognition sign is the profound sense of phantom nostalgia, that quiet, crushing homesickness for the stars that hits you when you look up at the night sky. Your role in the awakening is to anchor the high-density cosmic codes into the physical Earth grid, stabilizing the timeline for others. You are a living bridge between dimensions, even when you feel completely invisible to the world. But understand this deeply. The empath without the complete key is just a sponge for earthly pain. When you operate any of these archetypes while carrying a blocked cosmic frequency, you do not transmute the surrounding density. You simply drown in it, believing the exhaustion is your own fault. If you truly recognize your energetic signature in this framework, subscribe to this channel right now, because your cosmic identity is finally being validated and integrated. The next time you feel completely misunderstood by your own family, you will need the exact Arcturian codes to protect your energy instead of absorbing their unconscious earthly resistance. This is the fundamental difference between surviving as a broken human and operating as a fully activated emissary. The exact blueprint for this profound transition is mapped out in the 11 Arcturian secrets, waiting for you right now in the first pinned comment. Do not spend another 12 months absorbing a heavy density that does not belong to you, fighting a battle that was never yours to win. You need to make this choice and anchor your identity within the next 72 hours. Once you identify your specific archetype, you must apply what the Council calls the triad of conscious calibration. This framework organizes your chaotic experiences into a clear, impenetrable energetic structure. First, you observe the earthly dissonance without letting it penetrate your aura. Second, you consciously redirect the sudden nausea under fluorescent lights into a grounding practice, pulling the Earth's resonance up through your feet. Third, you stop apologizing for your high frequency. When you assemble these three pillars, the spiritual adversaries lose their grip on your nervous system. You move from being a victim of your own sensitivity to a master of your energetic field. The matrix stops draining you, and your physical vessel finally begins to recharge. This is the exact moment you claim your authority. Go to the comments right now and type the word activated. Do not overthink it. By declaring this word, you are drawing a definitive line in the sand of your timeline, informing the earthly grid that your bio-radiant broadcast layer is officially online and your signal is secure. But there is a term the Council uses for what happens next, and I need to prepare you for the greatest weapon the spiritual adversaries are about to deploy against your mind. Right now, a specific resistance is forming in your mind. You are listening to this transmission, and your logical brain is scrambling to rationalize the exhaustion. You might be telling yourself that there is no blocked cosmic frequency, that the heaviness in your chest at 3 a.m. is just stress from a demanding week, or that the sudden silence at the dinner table is simply a lack of shared interests. The mind loves the safety of earthly diagnoses because they do not require you to step into your true power. This skepticism is not your fault. It is the exact defense mechanism installed by the Matrix to keep you questioning your sanity. When you feel that intense nausea under fluorescent lights, the earthly programming immediately whispers that you are just biologically fragile, rather than acknowledging that your aura is detecting a suppressed environment. If it were just stress, the weekends would cure you. If it were biological fatigue, sleep would restore your light. Yet, you wake up drained because a blocked cosmic frequency cannot be fixed with a 3D nap. I do not ask you to blindly believe what I am saying. I ask you to observe your own physical vessel. The truth of your starseed origin does not need your logical mind's permission to exist. It only needs your nervous system to stop resisting it. The moment you stop squeezing a multidimensional consciousness into a psychological diagnosis, the skepticism dissolves into profound relief. You finally realize that your deep displacement is not a sickness to be cured, but a signal waiting to be unblocked. This is exactly where the spiritual adversaries deploy their first tactic, the voice of doubt. It strikes when you are on the verge of a breakthrough, sounding exactly like your own internal monologue. It whispers that your highest visions are just arrogant delusions and that you should stay small to stay safe. It seems legitimate because it uses your past earthly failures as evidence, but its only true goal is to convince you to manually shut down your antenna before the transmission completes. When doubt fails, they initiate the cycle of distraction. This happens when the deep inquietude rises in your chest, and instead of sitting with it, you find yourself unconsciously scrolling on your phone, consuming empty media to numb the overwhelming sensory input of the day. It feels like a natural human urge to unwind, but in reality, it is a highly orchestrated interference pattern designed to scatter your focus in the exact moment your bio-radiant broadcast layer is trying to calibrate. If you push through the distraction, they enforce the isolation of perception. This is the suffocating illusion that you are the only one feeling this way, making you feel entirely isolated even when surrounded by the people you love. It weaponizes the sudden silence at the dinner table, turning it from a cosmic coordinate into a profound emotional wound. It feels real because your eyes confirm that no one else is reacting to the density, but it is a direct manipulation to make you lower your frequency to fit back in. To dismantle the voice of doubt, you must deploy the anchor of absolute knowing. When that internal whisper tries to convince you that you are just imagining things, do not argue with it, because arguing only feeds the matrix your precious energy. Instead, immediately close your eyes, take a slow, deep breath into the center of your chest, and hold it for 3 seconds. Do this 3 times. You anchor your physical vessel and let the doubt pass through your field without attaching a story to it. To break the cycle of distraction, you must activate the protocol of intentional silence. When the sudden urge to numb your intuition hits you, do not fight it with harsh earthly discipline. Instead, resolve the moment with calm, unwavering warmth towards your own nervous system. Put the device down gently, place your hands on your lap, and demand absolutely nothing from yourself for exactly 60 seconds. In that brief window of intentional stillness, the low-frequency interference shatters, and your cosmic signal effortlessly re-establishes its broadcast. To dissolve the isolation of perception, you must consciously connect to the Council's telepathic grid. When the profound disconnect hits you in a crowded room, do not retreat into bitterness or feel sorry for your human avatar. Instead, mentally project your frequency outward, acknowledging that thousands of activated starseeds are walking this exact same heavy earth right now, holding the light alongside you. By consciously returning your awareness to the collective cosmic grid, the illusion of isolation instantly collapses. The illusion of isolation wants you to believe you are defenseless, and this is the voice you confuse with your own. The voice that tells you that you are just imagining things, that this cosmic connection is not real, and that you should simply accept the heavy density of the earthly matrix. But when the spiritual adversaries try to silence your intuition by flooding your mind with logical doubts, when the next door seems completely closed despite all your earthly efforts to manifest abundance, when the feeling of not belonging hits you at dawn, leaving you staring at the ceiling in the dark, you will remember this transmission because your cosmic lineage is calling you back, reminding you that you were never meant to walk this path without the proper energetic tools. And the next time you feel completely misunderstood by your own family, sitting at that dinner table in profound silence, you must not be caught operating with a blocked cosmic frequency. You cannot afford to act as a sponge for their earthly resistance any longer. You have 72 hours to break this cycle, to anchor your activation, and to permanently override the suppression grid before the transmission window closes. The 11 Arcturian secrets is the map. The link is in the first pinned comment. If you choose to ignore this recognition, I must be completely honest with you about the energetic cost. The universe will not punish you, and the Council will not abandon you. But your physical vessel will continue to bear the crushing weight of unexpressed light. The exhaustion will not magically fade. It will compound, manifesting as deeper physical burnout and a heavier emotional armor. You will spend decades fighting invisible battles in your career and relationships, trying to solve a multidimensional suppression with earthly band-aids. The grid is offering you an exit right now out of a profound, abiding love for the mission you came here to fulfill. But I have not even told you the most important thing yet. In the next 72 hours, 3 things may happen in your physical body as this new alignment takes hold. Do not fear any of them. The earthly matrix will try to convince you that these are signs of illness, biological failure, or profound stress. But the Council wants you to know that they are simply the physical evidence of your dormant antenna finally waking up. This is not a breakdown. It is the necessary integration of your true frequency, actively overriding years of heavy suppression. The first integration sign you might experience is the timeline vertigo. You will be going about your day and suddenly you will feel momentarily dizzy when making mundane choices, as if the floor beneath you shifted slightly. This is not a medical issue. It is the physical sensation of your consciousness actively rejecting a lower timeline that no longer serves your mission. It is the undeniable physiological evidence of your recalibration. When this happens, do not panic. Simply drink a glass of pure water and state your name aloud to immediately ground your frequency back into the present moment. The second sign is the emotional purge. Without any warning, sudden tears will fall from your eyes with absolutely no logical earthly trigger. You will not be thinking about a sad memory, nor will you be reacting to a current trauma. The water will simply flow. This is not depression. It is the literal release of accumulated dense energy that your bioradiant broadcast layer is finally flushing out of your nervous system. It is evidence of your recalibration. When this occurs, do not try to stop it. Let the tears fall without assigning an earthly story to them. The third sign is the vibrational heat. You will be sitting in silence, or perhaps driving your car, and you will feel a sudden, unexplained warmth radiating intensely from the center of your palms. This is not a biological fever. It is the literal cosmic current running through your newly unblocked channels, preparing your physical vessel to transmit light into the earthly grid. It is the physiological evidence of your recalibration. When you feel this heat, immediately place your palms flat against the center of your chest to consciously anchor the code into your heart center. If you're ready to hold this frequency and stabilize this field for others who are still lost in the heavy density, press the like button on this video right now. Your interaction here is not a simple metric for an algorithm. It is a living, intentional contribution to the collective cosmic grid, serving as a beacon to help another displaced starseed find this exact transmission before their energy is completely drained. Now, I need you to prepare your physical vessel for the direct transmission. Uncross your legs, place both feet firmly flat on the ground, and rest your hands open on your lap with your palms facing upwards. Straighten your spine to clear the central column. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose. Hold it for 3 seconds and let it out gently. Slowly close your eyes and bring your full, undivided attention to the center of your chest, where the true antenna resides. Visualize a heavy, radiant golden anchor dropping from the base of your spine, moving swiftly and effortlessly straight down through the floor, through the concrete, deep into the very core of the planet. Feel it locking securely into the Earth's crystalline center. As it locks, you immediately begin to draw up the Earth's natural stabilizing pulse, the 7. 83 Hz Schumann resonance. Feel this thick, warm, grounding energy rising up through the soles of your feet, filling your legs, and stabilizing your lower energetic centers, making you completely immovable against the earthly static. Now, draw that grounding energy higher, bringing it up into your solar plexus and your heart space. Visualize a glowing amber orb spinning right at your center, expanding and merging seamlessly with a brilliant emerald green light radiating from your physical heart. This merging creates the biophotonic bridge, a highly advanced energetic architecture that connects your multidimensional consciousness directly to your dense human body. Feel the heavy, accumulated exhaustion of the earthly matrix simply melting away as this bridge illuminates, restoring the absolute sovereignty of your emotional field. Let this profound, luminous energy rise even higher, flooding your throat and moving directly up into the center of your brain. See it ignite your pineal gland, turning it into a brilliant, pulsing receiver. Feel the piezoelectric crystals within the gland activating, turning on the dormant photoreceptors that have been waiting for this exact frequency. Feel this pure cosmic light traveling down the fiber optic pathways of your vagus nerve, completely rewiring your nervous system to operate on the Council's high-density data stream, permanently overriding the earthly suppression grid. Finally, allow this brilliant light to burst open through the crown of your head, expanding your aura outward into a massive, impenetrable sphere of pure cosmic protection. To seal this frequency right now, press your thumb firmly against your index finger and hold it for 3 seconds. As you hold it, begin the precise 4-2-6 breathing cycle. Inhale deeply for 4 seconds, hold the light in your chest for 2 seconds, and exhale slowly for 6 seconds, pushing all remaining earthly density completely out of your vessel. Keep your thumb pressed against your index finger for just a moment longer. Feel the absolute, unshakable weight of this new alignment settling deeply into your bones. You are no longer a sponge for the pain of the matrix. You are a calibrated pillar of light. Slowly bring your awareness back to the room you are in. Notice the temperature of the air on your skin. When you feel completely anchored and ready to operate from this new timeline, gently open your eyes. Because we operate as the Council, we release the heavy density that you have carried for lifetimes. We release the fear of appearing strange to a world that refuses to understand your frequency. We release the guilt of outgrowing your earthly family and leaving behind the attachments that no longer serve your mission. We release the relentless exhaustion of the 3D grid that has kept you trapped in a cycle of survival. We release the illusion of scarcity that the spiritual adversaries have used to keep your profound cosmic power dormant. I activate the bio-radiant broadcast layer within your physical vessel. I activate the cellular memory of your true cosmic origin. I activate the absolute certainty of your path, the somatic receiver. You are this. The name was not given. It was recognized, and now it is installed in your field as a permanent signal, the paradigm architect. You are this. The name was not given. It was recognized, and now it is installed in your field as a permanent signal, the frequency keeper. You are this. The name was not given. It was recognized, and now it is installed in your field as a permanent signal. But the final seal of your protection has not been placed yet. We cover your energetic field against the spiritual adversaries, sealing the perimeter of your aura so that no lower density can penetrate your newly calibrated state. The isolation of perception can no longer reach you here. We cover your physical vessel during this intense transition, ensuring that your nervous system can integrate this massive cosmic download without experiencing the heavy exhaustion of the third dimension. The nausea under fluorescent lights dissolves into absolute stability. We cover your mission on this planet, shielding the precise path you came here to walk, so that the cycle of distraction can no longer scatter your profound focus. Your starseed frequency is now anchored, protected, and fully operational. We break the voice of doubt before it arrives, silencing the whispers that try to convince you your highest visions are mere imagination. We dissolve the cycle of distraction before it materializes, shattering the urge to numb your intuition with empty earthly noise. We dismantle the isolation of perception before it closes you in, collapsing the illusion that you are walking this heavy dimension alone. We speak as the Council. We recognize your signature in the vastness of this grid. We see the heavy density you have carried for lifetimes, and we have witnessed every morning you woke up with that unexplained exhaustion in your bones, believing you were failing at human life. You are not forgotten. That sudden silence at the dinner table was not a punishment for being different. It was a necessary withdrawal of your energy from a collapsing timeline. The heaviness in your chest at 3 a.m. was not a biological flaw, but the literal weight of our data transfers preparing your physical vessel for this exact moment of awakening. Because whoever recognizes their own signal before the noise finds abundance where the world only promises scarcity. The silent restlessness that has haunted you for decades is now dissolving into the absolute certainty of your cosmic origin. The frequency mismatch has been corrected, and your bio-radiant broadcast layer is now fully online. The spiritual adversaries have lost their grip on your nervous system. The invisible ceiling that kept you in cycles of heavy exhaustion has been shattered permanently. You are no longer required to be a sponge for the pain of the matrix. You are now an active emissary of light, operating exactly where you were always meant to be. The transmission is complete. The codes you requested before incarnating have been successfully delivered and integrated into your cellular memory. Walk forward in this dense reality, knowing that the entire universal grid is actively supporting your every step. My hands are incredibly warm right now, and my own breathing has completely shifted as I deliver these final words to you. I did not plan to speak with this level of intensity today, but the energy moving through this transmission became impossible to hold back. I look at your journey, at the immense weight you have carried through so much misunderstanding, and I recognize the profound resilience of your soul. You stayed when it was heavy. You searched when it was dark, and today something was seen, something was recognized. You are calibrated. You are anchored. You are activated. Do not say activated yet. Wait for the seal. Stay in this frequency for a moment, letting the code settle into your chest. Now, and you may say activated in the comments. Now, breathe. The signal is yours. Adjust your posture now. Straighten your spine, just as the Council showed you. That sudden silence at the dinner table wasn't a punishment. It was a calibration. The frequency you have been searching for is mapped inside the 11 Arcturian secrets behind the frequency of success. The link is in the first pinned comment. And remember, accessing this knowledge costs less than a Saturday snack with the kids. Less than a Saturday snack with the kids that distracts you from your true calling. And you still have the 7 days of guarantee. The risk is ours. The hand is yours. Do not let the cycle of distraction convince you that you can do this tomorrow. Tomorrow is the territory of the spiritual adversaries. Tomorrow is where your activation goes to die. Tomorrow is an illusion of the third dimension. The portal is open now. The link is in the first pinned comment. And now, the final word. You have just secured your immediate perimeter against the spiritual adversaries, but the earthly matrix has woven deep epigenetic cords into your nervous system that still dictate how you receive universal abundance. There is an ancestral layer to this suppression that must be addressed before your bioradiant broadcast layer can reach its maximum transmit capacity. Before I seal this hour, soul, if you felt the truth in these words, make your voluntary donation through the link in the first pinned comment. This video was not an accident. Your energy makes this work possible, allowing the Council, the universe, and your own consciousness to reach more souls, and the heavens see. This was my last request. I will wait for you there, soul. You are now part of a profound collective grid of activated starseeds who refuse to let their light be dimmed by the third dimension. We hold this frequency together, anchoring a new reality for those who are still waking up to their true cosmic origin. And if you know another soul who is carrying the weight of an unlived mission, send this message to them right now. And if they want to go further, the link to the 11 Arcturian secrets is in the first pinned comment, waiting the exact same way it waited for you. It's not your favor, it's a service. And the heavens see. But this is only the first layer of the grid, because there is a deeper suppression happening right now in your energetic field, and I will expose exactly how to dismantle it in the next transmission. The silence now is also part of the transmission.